Hello, Mr. Ed. Happy Monday, everybody. Big waves to you from sunny Wyoming. Yes, yes, yes. Where I am outside and a little chilly, a little nippy. But good to see everybody this morning, and it's going to be a good week. I want to say I hope you had a great weekend, and as always, I like to tell you how much you're appreciated. Thank you for being a part of this community. We love and care about each and every one of you. And if you're a guest on, come back and join us. We are a community all about supporting each other, and pick a word each day and expand on it. And the word for today is intention. Intention. I immediately ask myself, am I living with intention right now? Because if you look at the definition of intention, it's the action or fact of intending, an aim that guides action and objection. And I said, that's kind of boring. That's kind of a boring definition. And I came across this quote. I'm looking at my phone if you're wondering. It said, be mindful of intention. Intention is the seed that creates our future. And I looked at that and I was like, it's so true. Whatever I focus on expands, right? Living with intention means choosing where to invest your time and attention. And I immediately went, if you're not careful, what about it, Vince Green? If you're not careful, your mental energy will be like just kind of fluttering away with the loud noises that sometimes distract our intention. You ever have that in your life? I know I do. That my actions and my mental game is all centered around like this, the thing that's loud in my life at this particular moment. And so the game that I've got to play with myself, if I'm not careful, I'll spend my life in other people's to-do list, in other people's must-do list, right? Because they're being loud. But what I've got to do is play the game where I've got to, have intention where I want to go, where I want to focus, where I want to spend my time. And it's really about goal setting and decision making about what I want to do. Right now in our profession, I've got we've got a system that I'm really intentionally wanting to focus hard into. And I want to stay focused on that. Could be maybe your profession, maybe a relationship, maybe your health goals, but what are you intentionally goal setting and doing decision making on? And I come across this, it's so true. When you're intentionally focused, instead of life happening to you, your life is happening for you, right? And I got to thinking about it, and I was kind of analyzing my own life, and I was thinking about, it's kind of like playing cards. Bill and Susan has no control over the cards that are going to get dealt this week, this month, this year. But it's how they can intentionally play the hand they're given that matters. And I look back on even my professional career, I look back on, I was, sorry for the noise, I was in IT when I first started. And then I moved into coaching and teaching. And then I moved into being a principal of a high school. And then I moved into working in the network marketing industry. And it's like, there was a lot of situations that I had no control over the cards that was being dealt, but I did have control over how I played the cards intentionally. And that's really what matters. That's really what creates our ability to thrive. Because it's the things we can control, not the things we can't control, that we need to give our lives focus on, right? To be intentional about. And so, Andrea, that's kind of where I went this morning with intention. Where I'm at right now, it made me think really in my professional career, is to intentionally set some short-term goals. I call it microscopic views for where I want to go in my profession, but also telescope view, long range view for where I want to go, and intentionally focus in those areas. So I'm excited about the future in that, in our profession, and many of you are a part of that. So I want to be more intentional. So I'll turn it to you.
Well, Coach, I'm thinking that you might be questioning your intention to do this outdoors in like
I'm definitely questioning that right now. Yeah.
in your shorts. But what I'm going to talk about today is how to live with intention. And the quote that I loved was, "When your intention is clear, so is the way." And that's Alan Cohen. And I just think that that is so true. Like when we have, well, one, good intentions, but we know what our intentions are. Like we think about it, we can have a really clear path for our future. So how in the world, in this incredible, beautiful planet that we live on that is filled with noise, right? There's so many distractions everywhere we go. We could get turned, I mean, we could be all over the place every hour of every day. So how do we choose to focus? How do we choose to live with intention? So first of all, we have to manage our mindset. So, most people don't even know that we can choose our thoughts. And sometimes I know that I can get caught in these ruminations where I go down a path where I really shouldn't be going. And so we absolutely need to realize that our thoughts are 100% optional. So we can, we have the thought and we can just swipe, right? Just, don't want that one, don't want that one, don't want that one, and give ourselves something positive to plug into so we can have more positive thoughts, like the Coach's Corner. There's a plug. Number 2 is set impossible goals. And that sounds a little crazy. Why would I want to set a goal that's impossible? Why would I want to set a goal that I can't do? Well, if we set a goal so big, right, it feels just about impossible, then there's no way that we can achieve it as the person we are in this moment. We will have to intentionally become better. So set those crazy big goals so that we can become better and go get it. Thank you so much, Letitia. I thought so too. Number 3, manage our emotions. And you guys have seen it. I cried last night. I cry in the Coach's Corner like 6 days out of 5, right? I am just a big ball of emotions, good emotions, bad emotions, and everything in between. But we have to learn, Andrea Rosser, we have to learn to manage our emotions so that we are not completely managed by them. So, there's nothing wrong to feel our feelings, but we need to feel them. We need to acknowledge them. We need to decide, is this, accurate? And how can I deal with this to move forward? Next is take massive action. So taking massive action, it means that we're taking enough action to get the results. And that was one of the things that Tracy Turnberg talked about at the event last night. That was amazing. You guys are awesome out here in Gillette. But he talked about that, he kind of drew this curve, and I'm not going to, not everybody's a part of what we're talking about, but he drew this kind of curve, and he said, this graph is for you individually and for like the entire company. So if you want your curve to be sharp, right, you want to have this hyper growth, well, then you have to take the massive action. We can't just sit back and expect massive, incredible results if we're not taking the action to get it. The next one is to become a fast decision maker. So we have to have the ability. And Andrea, I'm like talking to myself today. This is a hard one for me because I'm a slow decision maker. But if we want to be intentional, we have to have the ability to decide and choose what matters. So this is a skill that we can absolutely develop. So that's something that we need to work on. And then next, master time management and planning. So, we've talked about this before. I'm a to-do list person. I love a nice hefty to-do list, but we have to get a little bit better. I have to get a little bit better at managing my time appropriately, stop the scroll hole and the different things that are just sucking away from my life where I'm falling into somebody else, like Coach said, somebody else's must-do list, somebody else's intention, and I'm letting mine go by. And then lastly, we have to implement the daily actions. So, each of us, we have daily habits. We all know it. Some of them serve us and some of them don't. So go through your day and figure out Is this a good thing on Andrea's checklist? Is this something that brings value to my life? Is this something that brings value to other people's lives? Well, then let's keep it. But if it's something that's not part of my intention, if it's not part of what I want for my future and for our collective future, well, then maybe I need to let that go. So I think we might have lost. Did we lose Coach? We got Tracy. Okay, well, Brent, you're looking great out there. We lost Coach for a moment. So are you going to close this down here, Tracy?
I am. I'm just going to share just a few words, Andrea. And, when I think of the intentions, my mind goes to being intentional. And I always think about relationships. And, it doesn't matter where your faith is, but if you want a strong relationship with me, with Jesus, it needs to be an intentional thing. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but with my kids, I'm very intentional with my relationship. If you want a good relationship with with somebody, you need to be intentional. You need to make time for it. You need to carve it out. You need to make it a priority. And if you do that, it'll pay dividends. And in business and in life, being intentional is a very key thing. Nobody's going to get successful by accident. And they all had a plan. They were all very intentional in their steps. They went through day-to-day actions that were very, very, in the beginning, maybe difficult. And then they kept at it, being intentional, making those calls, doing all that stuff. And so for me, I would challenge everybody with the word, this fun word of intentional, is to be able to be intentional with this call. Like, this community is so fantastic. You guys are being intentional in this. And that's why you love it. Now imagine if you took this dedication to this and you applied it to other areas of your life. To me, it's so simple and so amazing. And coach had to take off. He had to go run laps. He was cold. This is a nice Wisconsin spring day for us here. Brent's out here huddled up from Alabama, and he had to go run and get his blood flowing. So Andrea, absolutely fantastic today. Appreciate everybody here. And as Coach would say, big waves to all of you.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Guys, what I want to know here is I prepared, right? I took notes, I practiced. Coach prepared, he took notes, he practiced. Tracy jumped on here and said it from the heart, and it was phenomenal. So great job, Tracy. Thank you so much. Guys, we love you so much. Can't wait to see you back tomorrow.
God bless
Thank you.
Thank you.